When a person is living in stress and they're out of balance, their heart is always racing a little bit. And over time, people begin to condition their heart to race like that all the time. And if you keep creating that kind of incoherence in the heart, where it's no longer beating in a rhythmic fashion, the disintegration of the interference of those individual frequencies diminishes energy in the heart. And now we stop trusting ourselves. We stop trusting in our future. And the heart is the creative center. The heart represents the union of polarity, the union of duality, the union of opposites. This is where our divinity begins. If you can teach a person how to open their focus and begin to become nobody, no one, no thing, no where, and no time, and begin to open up into that blackness, that quantum field where there's nothing physical, and out of all the things they can put their attention on, instead of putting it on their cell phone or their Facebook or their coworkers or their boss or their ex or the problems in their lives, they're taking all of their attention and placing it on their heart. And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And in a sense, you are putting attention and giving your heart life, the very life force it needs to begin to bloom like a flower. So as you rest your attention in your heart and you're able to keep your attention there, the next step is to slow your breathing down, and then you breathe in and out of your heart. And what you're doing is you're working with your body so that it feels safe enough to relax into the present moment and switch from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. And of course, if a person is aroused constantly, it's going to take some practice to begin to do this. And as you begin to breathe in and out of your heart, slower and deeper and more relaxed, as your breathing slows down, your brain waves slow down, and now the person now is starting to slip right into the autonomic nervous system and into the operating system. Now, let's trade the emotions of guilt, of shame, of unworthiness, of pain, of suffering, of anger, of fear, of hostility, of judgment, of envy, for heart-centered, elevated emotion. And as you breathe, give yourself permission to begin to feel gratitude, appreciation, begin to feel thankfulness, a love for life, a joy for existence, but doing that independent of any condition in your external environment. In other words, so many people are conditioned into believing they need a reason for gratitude. They need a reason for joy. They need a reason to feel love. They need something outside of them to create that emotion inside of them. And here we're doing the exact opposite. We're beginning to open our hearts and begin to put energy in there. And as we begin to breathe and feel these elevated emotions, all of a sudden the heart starts to become more coherent. And like dropping pebble in very still water, pebble after pebble after pebble in a very rhythmic fashion, all of a sudden, the heart begins to produce an ambient magnetic field that can be up to 3 meters wide. And now, like beating a great drum, frequency that's being created from the heart, that frequency can carry information. And now the person, once energy moves into their heart, they're in the perfect state to create in. In other words, once this creative center opens up, and once it begins to become more coherent, not only are you producing that magnetic field that's beginning to spread out from your body, you're becoming more energy and less matter, more wave and less particle. You'll begin to feel like you're connected to something greater. And when your heart is open, you're no longer experiencing lack, polarity, separation, or duality. You feel connected. Your body begins to believe when you train your heart that your future is actually happening in the present moment because you're experiencing the emotion of your future before it happens.